What's going on, guys? Today I will be showing you my preferred method on AFKing gems on anime Vanguards. And to start it off, this is going to be a macroing method, and the requirements, I guess I would say that you at least want, is going to be Ingress's Elite Knight, and then I would get her evolved, like I said, as the Elite Knight, get her evolved, and then you're going to want a Sprint Wagon with preferably Fortune, and I also have Blitz on my Ingress, but I don't know if that's going to make too much of a difference in this. You still should be able to hopefully do it just as good as I can. And so the macroing system that we use is going to be Tiny Task. I'll have this link posted in the description, and then all you want to do is you want to go to download, and then just download this right there, and then there will be a little, just open that up, and then obviously you'll have your icon for it, and then I'll load it up here to show you guys how to use this first. So this is what it's going to pop up as. It's just this little tiny task. And so for preferences, what you're going to want to do is set your keybinds. I have my recording as F8 and then the playback as F12, just so you don't have to do the annoying Control Shift Alt P1. And then so how this works is what I would recommend doing if you plan on macroing a lot on this game, or really any game. I would have a folder set to your desktop to where you can save all your files in. And then also in the preferences, I would recommend just having always on top. So what this means is I can control my game or anything else, and this will still stay there, so you don't have to worry about it too much. And so once you have all of that ready for, go here, go in here, you're going to want to do the double dungeon infinite. So the highest wave, roughly what I get is 52. I don't think I've gotten higher than that. And so you'll get 800 gems. This is like, I think, the maximum you can get. I don't think the levels, I think you can go to any wave, but the max you're going to get is 8 gems. I haven't gotten any crystals from this either, so I wouldn't expect any from doing this. So this isn't going to level you up at all. This is mainly to get gems so that you can summon and get more guys in the best way possible while you're AFKing it. So I'm just going to get straight into it here. And so, oh, I totally went to the wrong area. Alright, hold on. I'll be back once I get into the right area. Alright, so don't do that one. I'm going to do double dungeon because it has the most length room. So that, because when you do it, pretty much you're not going to kill the wave 40 boss. That's just has to be expected. You're not going to be able to do it. And so what I would recommend is before you start it, get your camera how you want it set up and try to kind of remember it, because you're not going to be able to move your camera when you're doing it, or else it's going to mess the macro up. So what I'm going to do is press F8, I move the mouse around a little bit, and then I would click on yes a couple times in that same spot. We're going to throw down all of our farmers here, and then we're going to place our first ingress right here on this corner. And so that's going to clear basically all the mobs until you can start upgrading Ingress, or Egress, however you want to say it. And so this is going to be kind of a long video, so sorry about that. But I just want to make sure you guys get everything that you need to know here. So as you can see, he is going to pretty much get rid of all these mobs. You don't have to really worry about it. And then anytime you can upgrade, I would recommend spamming it a few times, just because sometimes there can be a delay and you don't want that to obviously mess it up here. So once you get that about there, as you can see, these guys pass through, but the wave should hopefully end here, so that I can place my other ingress down. The start is a little rough, but once you start maxing out your characters, it's okay. So wave ended. You're going to place your other ingress right here. As you can see, that's going to get rid of those two guys that slipped through. And then at this point, I will start upgrading my sprint wagons. Them all at least level 1. I wouldn't focus too much on upgrading your farms just yet, but they're definitely going to be useful once you start getting into the later waves for sure. But for now, I'm going to focus on getting my third ingress down, which I just got. I'm going to put her right about in the middle, and then this is going to be the one that you want to upgrade to maximum first. And so you might be able to do this with different units, but I found Ingress is the best for what I have currently. Alucard might be, or it probably is better in the end, but it's 1 out of like 45,000 chance, so a lot of people don't have him currently. And what's good about Ingress is once you get her almost maxed, she has a full AoE circle. That's huge. So again, every time you upgrade, make sure to press it a couple times. And Ingress just does a lot of damage, a lot of good damage, so it's really important to have her or him there. So yeah, this is pretty much it. I'm gonna get her to probably upgrade 5, and then I'll start focusing on maxing the farms because he'll be able to hold pretty much all the enemies coming through. Just press that a couple more times here. Yep, as you can see, no enemies are getting through all the Ingresses. And so this one really doesn't have a later use until the end either. It's kind of just to like at the beginning when the mobs start slipping through, even like before you have all of them upgraded, some of them have a chance to get through, but they really shouldn't. And so now I got him to 5, I'm gonna start upgrading our farms to max. And since right there I didn't do it multiple times, I will just go through and click the upgrade button. And then this macro does remember your key presses as well. So it has your mouse clicks and your keystrokes. So whichever one is better preference for you, you can go ahead and do that. I'm just going to go back to Ingress over here. And really, a lot of it's just sitting and upgrading. There's nothing else to it, really. So it's going to be kind of boring from here. I might do a cut or an edit. I'm not sure yet. Or I'll just cut to whenever I say something important. But really, this is all you're going to do. Each run does take roughly 30 minutes, and I believe my one good friend told me that it's about 1900 gems per hour, which isn't necessarily a lot, but when you're AFKing, you gotta put that into consideration. So, especially if you're just running this overnight, it's really good just to get some passive gems, and then you can summon the next day, or whenever you're at school or work, it's good. So yeah. Another thing too is with this macro, it does have a chance to break. Normally you're not gonna have a flawless forever run with it. So don't fully expect it to work every single time. It sometimes can fix itself, but most of the time you kind of just have to catch it and then fully restart. And another good thing about doing this on Infinite as well is you get roughly 5,000 takedowns. So with Ingress, I can stat reroll him until max pretty much every time I do a Infinite run. So this is the first mace statue. Once I get about here, I will start to try to upgrade my first Ingress just because it has the shield, right? So I'll upgrade him a couple times. But what you really want to try to do is get this Ingress's full AoE, or else you're pretty much not going to be able to get him. So that's why I really focus on getting this middle one first, because it's going to be able to do the damage no matter what. But without its full AoE, the shield can be really hard to break. Which is why I would try to prioritize getting this as best as you can. So you can see it has its full AoE. So now the shield is going to get shredded a lot quicker. And then hopefully, if you're lucky, and you do it right, should be able to get it. And then also start upgrading this one down here, since the mace statue is pretty much down at this lower end anyways. So hopefully, if I did this right, it'll get the mace statue dead. It can be extremely close sometimes. So right here, I'll start trying to upgrade him more. And see, there you go. You got the meow. I actually got it in the enemy index as well, which is really nice. And so yeah, once that first boss is done, if you have the money, I would recommend upgrading your farms to level 3. I'll kind of focus on that next. Your Ingresses are going to be able to damage and kill all the enemies here. So I would just focus on getting the farms up, and that way you can upgrade quicker in the end anyways. And once again, I didn't sit here and spam this a couple times, so just go back through, really make sure that all of your units are upgraded to what you want them to be. And so I'm going to finish maxing out this Igris, then I'll move on to the first one up here, and then this guy. Doesn't hurt to also double click some of your units as well. I probably would actually recommend doing that, if you remember, because I've had times where I've made this macro before and it has just completely not counted some of my clicks before. So pretty much from here on out, we're just going to be sitting here and upgrading our Ingresses, and once we're done with that, I'll show you guys what to do next. Which pretty much, it's just laying out the rest of your units and just upgrading them, I guess, in a short way of saying it. So, that one is maxed. Start working on the other one. I'd say the hardest part about this is just really remembering not to move your character preferably. I think you can. I don't think it'll mess it up, but I wouldn't recommend it. And then just really not moving your camera, because it's going to mess up your mouse movements. I would also try to keep in mind as well that this might not even work for you on the first attempt. I think this is my third time doing it. The first time I forgot to save it, so I had to remake it, and then I didn't pick up some of my mouse clicks on the second one, which is why I really can't say enough to press your keystrokes and mouse clicks multiple times whenever you are doing these, because there's a delay and it just simply might not pick it up. And as well with this, if you want to get the battle pass done quick, this is really good, since the battle pass is just killing enemies. You're killing 5,000 each time. You are going to level up your battle pass really quickly, and so that way when you're finished, if you haven't bought it, it's actually worth paying for it to get the unit at the end. Once you're at this point, you don't have to pay too much attention, but just try to get your upgrades whenever possible, as soon as you notice it. A lot of the times I will just sit here and kind of be on my phone, or you could even have a video up in the background. You just have to remember you can't move your mouse because the macro is tracking all your mouse movements, so if you move it, it's going to mess it all up. So here we go, we have the next boss, the axe statue. By this point, as you can see, both of my Igrises are leveled to max, so you shouldn't have to worry. I think it's getting shredded already, so you should be completely okay with killing this boss. Now, another thing to take into consideration as well is your other units, I don't believe are necessary. I haven't done it without them, but they're really not that important because Igris does so much damage, especially with Blitz, if you can roll that on her, or him. Sorry, I keep calling it a her, I don't know why. So, now this one's upgraded, I guess I can show you guys. What I do is I'll do my Obitas first. Sometimes I wait till I can see. I place them all along this line, same with my Sasuke, all along here. And those are really quick to level up. I think I have most of them maxed, I believe, by wave 30, just because of the amount of money that you get from this. So it shouldn't take too long to get these guys upgraded. They don't play an important role, but sometimes they can help with the boss that comes on wave 30. Just to kill it a little bit quicker, I suppose. Another thing I would also try to remember is sometimes that these I'm just gonna call them raids because that's the first word that comes to my head. Sometimes the enemies will spawn farther up than where they're supposed to, which is I think the main reason why some of my macros have broken. So they can sometimes fix itself over time once the macro ends and repeats itself, which I will show you how to do at the end of this video. Pretty much just clicking the play button, but there's also a setting in Tiny Task that you have to click that I don't want to click right now to mess this macro up. Just so that you have infinite playthroughs, and now you can just let it run all night. And I lied. I definitely did not have all these guys by wave 30. I don't know why I thought I did. I couldn't remember, I guess. But, yeah. Shouldn't have to worry. So it's wave 30. So next wave, boss is going to spawn. And then this is the last boss that you are going to want to kill. Because at wave 40, I guess 41, it's going to be the shield boss. But since he moves so slow, you can still get an additional 10 waves, even without killing him, because of how slow it takes to move through this area, which is why you want to do double dungeon instead of the other ones. If you want to do the other ones, you can. I'm not promising that they're going to work as well for the amount of gems per hour. This has just been the best one for me so far. You get about 800 per run. It takes about 30-ish minutes. So yeah. So yeah, with 3 of your Igrises, and I guess I almost have 2 Obidos fully maxed, this boss is just gonna get shredded like butter. I mean, it's really easy. By this point, some mobs will start to slip through the first 2, but your Igris right here will be able to take care of them, along with the middle one, since it can reach back there, which is why you want to put that one there. Sorry, for a second I thought I didn't have it maxed out at first. As you can see, the boss is already halfway dead, and it hasn't even made it that far through yet. So just checking to make sure I have all those done. I like to wait till all those slashes go away sometimes before I place in person. Oh, I already have all 3 of these, so we'll take our Sasuke's here, and we'll just start placing them down the line. You see, boss is down before it even got past. Since I have one more to place, I might place it up here with my first, or I guess the second Igris that I placed. Actually, no, that was the first. Yeah, it was the first one I placed. So, as you can see, as the waves get longer, the enemies are going to have more HP. So, some of them do start to get farther through, but it's really not a concern at all that you should have to worry about. So our last character to max till we just sit here till the end of it. I'm just going to go ahead and place this one right here so that they're all in a nice line. And if your macro does mess up, since I'm not fully clicking placing down on these, as long as if you're using Igrises, as long as those place down, you shouldn't have to worry about anything. In case that messes up, you might be able to get through it. If more of your macro doesn't mess up, hopefully. Alright, so now all of my units are placed and maxed out, and you kind of just sit here until the end of it. So I might cut to some important parts, or I'll just let it run through. I haven't fully decided yet. here we go. We have the shield statue. So this is the boss that you are not going to kill. Don't worry about it. You'll be completely fine. As you can see, even just from the start here, how slow it actually moves. And that's how you can get to, like, at least wave 50 by the end of it. As you can see, some of the enemies are also starting to get through to the right side of the track here. So, not to worry once again. Igris's take care of it all, along with the other units that you might have placed. And so money doesn't really matter here, unless you have, I guess, more units to spend it on. Once you get to the higher levels, you might, which can also, this might be susceptible to change as well for the best way to do this. But at the current stage of the game and with the units I have, this is the best that I can do. So, yeah. And also, if you want, you could also place your units down on the lower part if you're concerned about them getting through, but they really shouldn't. I haven't had them ever get through once. And it might even seem like the shield statue, like, wow, he's getting through quick. Because remember, this is the very first part of the track. Like, he will get to the end very, very slowly. I turn around to show you, but I'd mess up the macro, and I don't want to have to restart all of this. And also the reason why it doesn't matter if you kill this person or this boss or not is because the next boss, you have to kill the statues, which you can't move your camera. As you can see, the statues, they're alive. Yeah, you can't move your camera to get the statues. So if you want to AFK this, with the macro, you can't. Which, by the time that boss spawns, this boss isn't even all the way at the end yet. Another great thing about having the Igrises as well, they are immune to stun, which can really screw you over sometimes in the boss fights, so it's nice to not have to worry about that. Her passives are really good. So there's the wave 50 boss. Like I've said plenty of times before, don't have to worry about getting it, as this run is going to end very shortly anyways. So, you can see, there go, has failed. Move my mouse around a little bit, and then I'll click the retry button, and then that is where you want to press F8. So boom, like that, then you're going to go up there to save, and actually I'm going to save this real quick. And then, if you click play, as you can see, I'm not touching my mouse at all, it's doing it just on its own. As you can see, the macro will start to go on its own. And so yeah, that is my guide on my preferred way to AFK gems. As you can see, I believe I got about almost 800 from it. So I think it might have been like 700 something. And so yeah, that is my preferred way to go about AFKing gems. And to also get the Battle Pass XP, as you can see. I got 2 levels from that. I'm not very high on it to begin with. And then if we come over here to the stat reroll as well. I just got done doing one. As you can see, I'm over the amount of takedowns that you need, so that way you can re-roll your stats to get them as best as possible. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I will try to post more videos soon, and I hope that this was in-depth enough for you to be able to get your own macro yourself. So yep, hope you guys have a good day. As always, it is appreciated if you give this a like and subscribe, and feel free to comment any questions. I will try to respond to all of them. All right, bye bye.